What's going on, people? It is Matt and Mike Devine, the Divine Sports Gospel, and we are here with the first ever episode of the Divine Deck podcast. We've done the Divine Deck live stream on our boy Borna's The Hog Watch. We've done DSG podcasts in the past, but this is a little different. The Divine Deck is going to be a weekly, every Sunday night. We're going to just, link up after the Sunday day game, and we're going to talk some Pods baseball. Simple as that. Come here, listen to it Monday morning with your coffee, listen to it, Monday morning with your beer. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. It doesn't really matter to me. Just listen to it. But yeah, man, we're going to start off with, it's Sunday, Easter Sunday. We have risen. He has risen. Pods. Let's talk about it right now. It is 13-4, top 9. Pods are just absolutely cooking the San Francisco Giants today. Overall, the Padres are 3-3 after the first 6 games of the season. My co-host, mi hermano, Mike Devine. How are you feeling currently at 3:52 on Sunday, March 31st about the San Diego Padres team?
I mean, I think I feel obviously way better today than I felt yesterday. I was pretty disgusted with the Friday and Saturday performances from our team. I think we are capable of playing the way that we played today, scoring 13 runs in a game. We are capable of doing that every single game. I think the lineup changes. I'm saying capable. I'm not saying we will. I'm saying we're capable. I guess every team is capable, but I think, Tatis, Manny, they should be hitting doubles. They should be lining balls in the gap. I mean, if you have Campusano, and I think this is the bottom half of the lineup has surprised me a little bit. I won't lie. I think last year you get after the 6th hitter or to the 6th hitter and below, and you're like, oh, we're fucked.
You had Carp, Nola, Grish. That's not
Carp, Nola, Grish.
That's bad. With runners on second and third and one out, that's not going to get the job done.
And I mean, last year too, we had Crone, who was in an offensive slump what seemed like the whole year, and to see him provide actual value out of that 3-hole, that lengthens the lineup so much, in my opinion. And I think if Crone can continue to produce, if Campy can continue to produce, I like what I'm seeing out of the rookies, boys. Merrill and Pauly. Tatis is obviously that guy. Manny's that guy. Xander, he's a classic singles guy. I'd like to see him hit a couple more extra base hits, but overall, man, I'm pretty pleased with the way that this team is playing. 3-3 could be worse. I'd like to see us go on 6-1 stretch. We play the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are dog shit.
Yeah, they're ass.
So I'd like to see us go on a bit of a run. Get a couple games over 500 and then build on that. But overall, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with the way that the season started so far. What about you,
man? I mean, I think people, obviously hot take central, right? Baseball's not a sport where social media is good, to be completely honest. It's 162 games. It's a lot of fucking games, dude. Last night, it looked like the Giants were world beaters. Today, it looks like they're one of the worst teams in baseball. That's just how it goes. However, your starting pitcher throws really depends on a lot of how the game's going to go, right? You got to come through with runners in scoring position. Pods today put up a 5 spot in the first, put up a 6 spot in the second or whatever. They were just cooking. That's what you have to do. When you get guys on, you got to hit them in. The team's doing that right now. I love it. Yesterday, I was at that wedding, so I didn't get to really see it, but from seeing the hot takes online and all that shit, also the Pods game just ended 13-4, so good win, fellas. So all the hot takes, right? Everyone's like, what the fuck, man? Like the sky's falling. Brother, I know I think with Padres fans, Mike, and I think you might agree with me on this, the 2023 season scarred us so much that everybody's just so in their head about oh my God, we're going to fucking crumble again. Oh my God, waiting for the ball to drop that everything's going to go to shit because 2023 was so bad. We have to get out of that mindset. That mindset's not healthy. You have to go, and myself included. I think about it. Mike can admit we were up fucking 10-2 today, and I was like, throw some fucking strikes. I was losing my shit. But no, we have to get out of that mindset where we're like, oh, what bad's gonna happen now? No, that was 2023 was fluke as shit, bro. A lot of those bad vibes, that bad juju is in San Francisco, in New York, in Houston, all over the place. That team's done. That team is in the past. We got to close the fucking yearbook. Like the kid that still talks about all the high school parties. Close the yearbook, buddy. That's what the Padres fans need to do with 2023. Close the yearbook. We got a new team, a new squad. What I want to talk about a little bit is the starting rotation. So Dylan Cease yesterday, Mike, you got to watch it. I didn't get to watch him pitch. Michael King today, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove. Those are the 4 guys that have thrown and started games for the Pods so far this year. Yu Darvish has looked great. Yu Darvish looks healthy. When Yu Darvish is healthy, I still think he's a top 30, top 25 pitcher in baseball. He's a stud. You know what you're going to get out of you almost every night. Outside that one night, like 2 years ago in San Francisco when we went to the game and he just got shelled. Most of the time, Yu Darvish,
that was bad.
When he starts, you're going to be good. Dylan Cease looks like a guy that's going to be very good for us. I think he's going to be toying around. I think he's going to have games where he strikes out 11. He's going to have some games where he gets lit up a little bit, but that's baseball. Michael King and Joe Musgrove are the 2 I want to talk about right now. So, Michael King, obviously headliner in the Soto trade. Seems like a great dude. I honestly have enjoyed listening to his interviews.
Good guy,
Good guy, Mike. Watching the King of Kings pitch, you see it. Anyone that knows baseball sees the potential this guy has. He has ace level stuff. Today, he threw, I think he went 4 innings. He had 7 Ks or 6 Ks and 7 walks in 4 innings. Obviously, it's one start. It's not the end of the world. But are you a little concerned about, I mean, this is his most walks ever. Obviously, he wasn't a starter for a long time. Are you a little concerned with how many walks he gave up today?
No, okay. I'm not. And the reason I'm not is like I think it's frustrating to watch. Yeah. But we watched a Cy Young last year as a San Diego Padre walk a ton of people, managed to get out of the jams. Like today, Michael King gave up 2 runs?
Yeah.
In 4 innings. Now the issue is it kind of taxes the bullpen a little bit more because then you have to have 6 innings ate up by other players if your pitcher's only going 3 or 4. So that's the issue. But I'm looking at his career stats and like he's thrown 251 career innings in the bigs, 287 strikeouts, 86 walks. So the walks aren't really a problem. It was an outlier. It was an outlier, but he did walk 3 in his first outing in Korea. I'm not sure what's going on mechanically. He's a big strikeout guy. I think him and Dylan Cease, we can't have 2 guys that are big walks and strikeout guys. You can only have one of those guys on the team.
Yeah.
And Cease yesterday pitched fantastic in my opinion, but he did have signs where it's like this guy could just walk a bunch of people some days. Like if his shit's off, he's going to walk a ton of people. I think the biggest issue I'm seeing right now with this team, and I'm not fully pushing the panic button, but Joe Musgrove's been a little bit shaky to start the season.
Yeah, job of meatballs.
And I mean, he's just it's worrisome because when he's locked in, if he's locked in and we have Dylan Cease as our 3 and Michael King as our 4, our rotation's, in my opinion,
very
top
good.
5 in baseball.
Very good.
Top 5 in baseball. And then you throw a fucking knuckleballer out there in the 5th game, and these teams are going to be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on? But if Joe Musgrove's pitching and he's not, I'm assuming he's fully healthy. I don't think he would start the season playing if he's not fully healthy. But, dude, a shoulder issue last year, and then he comes and he starts to give up some meatballs this year. It's a little bit worrisome. He's a fucking good dude. He's a strong guy. He's going to bounce back. But that's the only aspect so far this season that I'm like, shit, that could be a problem if it persists.
Yeah. I don't want to be, we're the positive guys, but we were at that game on Friday night and we love Joe. We're Joe guys. He's Mr. San Diego, right? He's the dude eats and breathes SD. We were at that game Friday night. A lot of hard contact, bro. Just a lot of meatballs, a lot of barrels. That's not what you want to see from your 2 guy. He had a tough spring. The thing with Joe Musgrove, and one of the reasons why I love Joe Musgrove, the dude's a gamer, bro. He's a battler. He's not going to get raked and get his tits lit on Friday night and come back on Thursday or Wednesday the next time he's on the bump and have that shit happen again. The kid's a dog. He's a workhorse. He's going to figure out what was working, what wasn't. Ruben Niebla is going to get him back. Much rather, I know it sounds dumb because it's March, but I'd much rather him have this issue, where he's kind of off in March than fucking in the middle of a wild card race in September, right? Where he just can't get it out. So figure it out. All good. other thing I'm a little concerned of, and then we're going to go back on the positivity hype. Trading Steven Wilson was trading a guy who you felt comfortable in the 6th inning if he comes in with a 2-run lead. You're like, all right, most likely he's going to get out and we're going to be fine. That 6th, 7th inning rolls right now are a little worrisome for the Pods in the sense that I think Yuki Matsui has that 8th inning setup rolled down. I think he's cracked really good, honestly, like way better than I expected. Bobby fastballs, I saw a report that his like fastball has like the most movement it's had in his entire career. Dude's sitting fucking 98, 99. Those two stay healthy. We're in a really good spot, 8th, 9th. Those other innings are a little concerning, right? So you got Tom Cosgrove, who has shown glimpses of being one of the nastiest guys in baseball, also shown glimpses of being Tommy Meatballs. We've seen that. Hey, seen that. The guy I want to see more of, who I don't even know if he's hurt, is Tio Wandy. Where the fuck is that guy, bro?
I don't know. He must be hurt.
Someone put a milk carton out for Tio Wandy, bro. Where the fuck is he? He hasn't been pitching. Stephen Kolek came into that game when it was 4-2 when we went on Friday night. He's a Rule 5 guy. Gave up a couple runs. Can't happen. You know, those are the guys. That 4-2 is the time Steven Wilson would come in or Pierce Johnson would come in and get the fucking guys out. We need a guy to step into that 6th and 7th inning role. I think we're paying Wandy to be that guy. He hasn't pitched, but we need one other guy. And I'm trying to figure out like who, Aniel, who do you think puts?
I do want to mention, Matt, that Wandy pitched the 9th today. So he is not hurt. He was the one who finished the game. We just started the show right when the game was ending, so we didn't see the top of the ninth.
That is a good sign. That is a good sign.
1 inning, gave up a hit, no strikeouts. But, I mean, for me, he's a 7th inning guy. You're paying him good money. He was nails for the Yankees last year. Aniel, I mean, from a last year's standpoint, like, I'm comfortable giving him the ball. I think Pedro Avila, we talked about it. Low leverage Pedro. What do we call him? No pressure. Low pressure Pedro.
No pressure Pedro is nasty.
I like Brito, man. I think Brito, I don't think he's a reliever, but dude, yesterday he was like, I think in a high leverage situation, I would take Brito over Avila if you needed a guy to come in.
I agree.
But I think Stephen Kolek's probably a nice guy. We got to have somebody in the minors that can do better than that. He's probably a nice guy, but we do. I know people say Alec Jacob, he gave up 7 runs today against.
Did he really?
But yeah, he got crushed by
El Paso, to be fair, 7 runs is a lot, but El Paso is like pitching on Mars, bro. That's fucking, they should call it Meatball El Paso, bro. That's like the only thing they fucking serve up there, bro. Yeah. Everybody hits nukes in El Paso.
Yeah, but there's got to be somebody. There's got to be somebody in that.
You know who it is, Mike, and who they paid for it?
Oh, brother, Matt, we're forgetting one main guy.
Woosuk.
Woosuk kind of sucks though.
Bro, Woosuk Go is getting paid to be that 6th, 7th inning guy.
He's getting paid $2 million. He's getting paid $2 million that we could have given to Tommy Pham, to be honest. So he better be good.
Woosuk better fucking figure it out in El Paso because, buddy, they're gonna bring him up. We don't have any money. So every dollar spent, they're gonna bring these fuckers up. Woosuk better fucking stop suck and go suck and go woo. Stop suck and go woo.
I got 2 guys, in my opinion, that I'd like to see. I mean, it's still a project in my eyes, but there's no reason after what we saw out of Morahone the last couple times he pitched that he shouldn't get a crack at it, man. There's no reason Stephen Kolek should be pitching games and Adrian Morahone, who has way better stuff.
Way better stuff.
See, it's not like Stephen Kolek's getting a lot of outs. Like, the dude got rocked by the Giants.
Yeah, can't happen.
I don't like shitting on him.
No,
I'm not a fan of. I know we're very objective guys. We're very objective and we're very positive. Go for it.
We need to get better at not saying. Me and you are so like we're so conscious about like any sort of criticism. We're like, I bet he's a great guy, but dude, we got to just.
But sometimes I know, Matt. I know, but I think we have a lot of buddies that play in the minors.
It's hard.
It's a fucking tough job.
Yeah,
it's a tough job.
I agree with you,
and I don't like being overly critical. But then at the same time, it's like, hey, we're a fan of a team, and we want that team to win.
Yeah.
And does this player give this team the best chance to win, or would pitching a guy like Adrian Morejon, who's, I'm not a big analytics guy, but Giannis, great follow on Twitter, always posts like the stuff plus. And every single pitch that Morejon has is like a plus pitch. Like that is a guy, there's no reason that he should be in the minors. He struck out 2 guys in 1 inning yesterday in El Paso. He needs no reason. He needs to be up.
And
you're also just wasting an option on his contract. He's probably out of options. And
no,
now if we fucking send him down, this is
his last year with options. So pretty much, I completely agree. Adrian Morejon, and we got to see, dude, I'm telling you, I need Woo-Suk to be good for the memes, but mostly because I want him to be good because we're paying him fucking money. We need that guy to be good. Our bullpen, little sketchy in the middle, the end good. So that's what we touched on bullpen. Touched on Joe, little sketch, but overall, we got Matty Knuckles tomorrow. How are you feeling, Matty Knuckles versus the St. Louis Cardinals team who most likely will lose tonight and will be going into this series at 1-3?
I feel good. I mean, I think we're a better team. Listen, I mean, team stats wise, and it's not like, I mean, our 2 series that we played are not easy teams to play.
Bro, that's what
we played the Dodgers. We played the Dodgers, who are perennially the best team in baseball. There's no arguing that. We're obviously diehard Padres fans. On paper, they are by far the best team in baseball.
Braves
then we played the Giants. Yeah, the Braves. And then we played the Giants, who probably had a top 3, if not top 1 offseason in baseball with the moves that they made. They got Blake Snell. They got Jung-Hoo Lee, who looks like a stud. They got Matt Chapman. They really pulled through a lot of guys this offseason. So we played them back to back. In our offense right now, Matt,
I know. I was going to touch on this.
Top six in every statistical category, and not like home runs, because obviously we played a couple more games than other teams. But from an OPS standpoint, a batting average standpoint, our team is playing really well offensively, which in the years past, also, by the way, playing really well offensively after trading the best offensive baseball player, probably our top 3 offensive guy in baseball.
Easy.
It's really positive to see this out of the team because it shows that the lineup's a little bit deeper than what it was last year.
I couldn't agree more. And I want to go over some stats real quick. We will call this segment the way too fucking early stats of the year. And we're going to go over, I got it up here right now. Xander Bogaerts currently has a 718 OPS. Tyler Wade, 938. So that's Tyler Wade that shows it's, March 31st. But hey, T Rizzy plays hard. That's what we're saying.
Plays hard.
I got nothing against. There's so many. Obviously, we're the over positive guys. We get some shit for that all the time. But there's some people on Twitter and social media that are just so negative all the time. Like, bro, Tyler Wade, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Absolutely fucking not. Did he hook up with Alex Earl? Absolutely yes. But T Rizzy, the dude plays hard. He plays hard. Like, I'm fine with him as a bench guy, right? I think we have to set our expectations. If you're a bench guy, if you're like the 26th man on the team, you're not going to be Machado every time you're up to bat. So set expectations low. I want more. Last year, we didn't have enough Greg Garcia types. I said that to you all the time. Like third leg Greg would come in off the bench back when there wasn't a DH and fucking pinch hit, single to the left side, score and run. That's what Greg Garcia did. If Tyler Wade could be a Greg Garcia type, that's awesome. Going through again. Fernando Tatis Jr. We were at the game where he hit 2 home runs, won us combined $800. Use sleeper promo code DSG. It's in the chat. It's in the description if you're reading. Always riding with the gospel. Toddy has a 969 OPS, bro. The dude's playing. He made 1 error yesterday, playing fantastic right field. Other than that, I mean, just everybody say a quick prayer for a healthy and happy Fernando Tatis Jr. season. Because if we get that, he will be establishing himself as a top 5 consensus player in baseball. He does everything well. Everything. Runs the bases well. Defends well. Hits the ball hard as shit. The dude's a stud, and he's ours for the next decade. So lock in. That's my guy. Jose Azocar, 661 OPS. Sugar had a cannon today, and right? Sugar's a good 5th outfielder. That's what we've said all the time, and I like Sugar. 5th outfielder. Right now, he's the 4th outfielder. We're going to touch on why I hope he becomes the 5th outfielder by next week. And Jake Cronenworth. You touched on it, Mike. I think the Crone Zone's back, baby. He looks fucking dialed. The confidence he has at the plate. I don't know what happened from last week. Maybe he was in Korea and he had like the night of his life and he just got his confidence back because Jake Cronenworth is dialed, bro. I haven't seen this Crone Zone since early 2022, bro. He seems dialed. He seems happy. It seems like he's not even thinking about that contract anymore. It's funny how you start hitting and no one's fucking complaining about the contract, right? Crazy. 990 OPS. Every time he's up to the plate, he's coming through. Hit a fucking humongous 2 RBI double against SF on opening day in San Diego. Massive. Jake, stay hot, brother. We need you. 990. Eggy Rosario, the Dominican Swiss Army knife, bro. Mike, we talk about this guy all the time. Eggy Rosario, he ran into an out on Friday night. That was like, it was 4-2. It was still a double, bro. Eggy hits the ball hard as shit. The Dominican Swiss Army knife is a fantastic bench piece. Utility, he's great. I love Eggy. Having him and Graham Pauly as like this little like waiting for Manny to get better and having them like platoon at third. Love it. Love it. They're great. Manny Machado, 922 OPS. Manny hits nukes, bro. When he hits it, it goes far. He's hitting a lot of extra base hits. I don't think he's hit a single all year. But Manny's the boy, bro. Get that arm healthy. He's a stud. Kimmy, 825 OPS. Just a great baseball player. What more can we say? We are the Krispy Kreme of Ha-Seong Kim fans because we just stay glazing, honestly. And you know what? He deserves it, honestly. That's my guy. We need to extend him because he will be the San Francisco Giants shortstop next year, and my heart could not take it. I already lost Jung-Hoo Lee. I already lost the Korean Ichiro to the Giants. I cannot have the Korean King also be a Giant. AJ, sign that check, brother. We have a core. Jurickson Profar, 808 OPS, shows that it's a very early season. But Pro is a great fourth outfielder. We love Pro. He is VAR. He is vibes above replacement, the leader. But we're going to touch on this in the last kind of segment of the show. I don't think Pro should necessarily be our starting left fielder if we are going to be a team that really makes some noise this year. Campusano, 391 average, 1,000 OPS. Mike, I'm going to let you talk a little bit because I've been running through. Yeah. What are your takes right now on March 31st about how Luis Campusano has been playing and what you could see of Luis Campusano this year? Like what's Luis Campusano's potential?
You know, man, I think when you look at his last season, right?
Yeah.
I think when you have a sample size like 163 at-bats, he has 52 hits, 7 bombs, 320 average, 847 OPS, right? Coming into the season, I think he wasn't ranked in any top 15 catchers list, which is absurd. Insane. But people are starting to be like, that tells me that people are like, oh, that might have been a little bit fluke last season that he had this statistical performance. What I've seen from him at the start of the year this year is that that's not fluke. This is the real fucking deal. Like, he is our catcher. He's established himself last year. I mean, dude, from a Padres standpoint, we've upgraded at catcher. Crone's playing better, so I guess you could say we're a better first baseman. But like our team has been improved upon, even though we lost a top 5 baseball player, top 10 baseball player, depending on who you ask. But Campusano being an actual backstop, being able to hit the way that he's hit so far.
He rakes, man.
All he does is hit the ball hard, man.
He rakes.
Even his outs are hard hit.
Loud outs.
So like if he can continue this, and we talked about it yesterday, we will not be surprised here at the DSG if Luis Campusano is hitting higher in the lineup in about a couple months. If he is hitting
weeks, bro.
fifth, fourth, I don't know what it's going to be. If they switch the lineup up, I kind of like the way the lineup's set up right now, to be honest. I think it gives good depth.
At least 6.
He is a dog, dude. He is a fucking dog. He hits the ball every part of the field. Love seeing Manny today go Oppo Gapper. The team's approach is better this year. Manny Machado, Matt, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Ha-Seong Kim, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. When you're walking more than you strike out, the chances of you winning the game go up dramatically. So I think the way that the Padres are playing so far, I'm very excited about it. I wanted to ask you,
Well, I got
Campy,
two last guys
yeah.
real quick. And I couldn't agree more on Campy, man. He's been fucking absolutely fantastic behind the plate. He has been absolutely hitting piss rockets all over. He had a little 3-run home run to Profar Porch. He's just playing well, man. And it's fun to have a catcher that isn't an automatic out. We haven't had that in a long time. And Luis Campusano is that guy. We have Ethan Salas coming up in the wings too. That Campy becomes a DH. Hey, honestly, Campy get an outfield glove, bro. Let's see what you can do in left. We need that bat in the lineup. Last two guys, Mike, and then we'll go into your question. Graham Pauly obviously just started playing, and Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill right now, 633 OPS. But if you've been watching like we've been watching, fantastic at bats. The dude has been hitting the ball hard. His ABs are great. He's a second leadoff hitter. Having him bat ninth is nice because at the end, Merrill gets on, then Xander's up. Merrill can run the bases. Merrill's been playing well. Also, center field wise, hasn't made any bad plays yet. Hey, has he been tested that hard? No. He had one play where he was going to throw it home. He ends up hitting the cut instead. Cutoff guy gets the guy at third. He's made some smart plays. He hasn't made any errors, and he's been playing well. As a 20-year-old in the bigs, first week in the bigs, solid. Graham Pauly, huge 3-run home run yesterday. Got a knock today. Little sketchy defensively. But what's your take on these two young guys, man? Is this what we're finally been asking for from AJ, that we get to see the farm, that the incredible scout that pretty much replenishes every other team? Now we finally could see some homegrown talent. Do you think these are the two guys that for the next couple years will be San Diego Padres that we can rely on?
Yeah, because I think the thing that's great about them so far, and obviously, I mean, this is the smallest sample size of all time.
Yeah.
But if those guys can produce on rookie deals from the bottom of the lineup, it takes away a real need for AJ to go out and try to upgrade with a guy like Luis Robert or something like that, right? Where he's like, I need to make this team better via trade. Because if he were to make it better via trade, one of those guys is probably going in that deal.
Absolutely.
So if they're both able to hold their own in the bigs, and you have guys like Xander Bogaerts, Machado, Tatis, Cronenworth, if Luis Campusano can continue to play well at catcher, you got Ha-Sung Kim. Like, that's a full lineup. The only missing link, in my opinion, in that lineup would be left field. And I don't think like Profar, I love Pro. Yeah. I think he's a great super utility off the bench. If you add Tommy Pham into that lineup in the 6-hole out of left field, that lineup instantly gets so much better. And then, if fucking Profar can even play first base, bro. He's played every position in his career. If you just put him in on off days and you have Pro play 60% of the games, it's not like he's getting paid $8 million, $10 million.
He's getting $1 million.
He's on a 1-year, $1 million contract. And he's a vibes guy. If he's not playing every day, he's not going to give a fuck. He's with his boys. He's going to different cities, playing with Toddy, playing with Chado. He's happy.
Kimmy.
He brings a vibe to the team. He's playing with Kimmy. So he's a super utility. You go out, you get Tommy Pham, who clearly wants to come back to the Padres, by the way. He clearly wants to come back to the Padres. He wants to.
So I think, and we at the DSG, Hector Zeroni's our only source, 0 from holes. We got no sources. But as someone that spends a lot of time, thinking about Padres baseball and looking around, it's obvious Tommy Pham wants to come back. I think the reason he isn't is the one thing about Tommy Pham, he's a prideful guy. I think he says, I want to make this much money, and he doesn't want to look and get any less. But every game that goes on, less game checks, which means no matter what, you're getting paid less money. Tommy Pham will probably sign within the next 2 weeks. We need to sign him because look at this lineup right now, Mike. If we sign Tommy Pham, Xander Bogaerts, Fernando Tatis Jr., Jake Cronenworth, Manny Machado, Ha-Sung Kim, Tommy Pham, Luis Campusano, Graham Pauly, Jackson Merrill. That's a good lineup, dude.
That's a great lineup.
That's a deep lineup. If Tommy Pham can give you a 775, 780 OPS, play a decent enough left field in the 6-hole, and then you have Campy batting 7th, who is just absolutely hitting piss rockets, bro. And people are like, oh, we can't bring the cancer into the clubhouse. You guys aren't in the clubhouse. You're not in the clubhouse. Remember this. You are not in the clubhouse. What did the cancer do in the clubhouse last year in Arizona? Led him to a fucking World Series. And every single one of his teammates brought up the vibe. Every single one of his teammates brought up in Arizona. Yeah, the vibe changed when Tommy came in. It was more like, hey, we got to win some shit. Like, serious.
We've talked about this before. My Siri came up. We've talked about this before. Tommy Pham is familiar with the Padres. He likes Preller. He's familiar with the team. The team still fucks with him. Even when he left, Eric Hosmer was always commenting on his shit. Like he was friends with the clubhouse. He still said he has buddies on the team. I think he's still in a fantasy football league with Manny. Like I'm saying, like when people say the cancer of the clubhouse, what are they referring to? The fact that he got stabbed at a strip club? He got stabbed at a strip club and he's the cancer? The only thing I could assume they're referring to is when him and Kim collided and he was pissed off. Guess what? That play was his ball. He got pissed because it was his ball and then he got hurt. That's a normal reaction. I don't think Ha-Seong Kim fucking hates Tommy Pham.
No, they're boys. They had an article. They literally had an article where Pham took Kim to his first nightclub in America. There's literally an article. You could look it up. I'll link it.
So that's Matt. That's why I'm like, I don't get it. He's a perfect fit. And honestly,
him and Schilt are
yeah, dude, he loves Schilt. There's no reason that we should not have him on this team. Cost, brother. Hey, if everyone signs up, if everyone follows and tails the DSG's picks, we could all chip in and get Tommy Pham on the Padres. Check the promo code in the bio or in the caption. We hit huge a couple days ago, but if we all do that and we hit one big one, then we can hit up Preller. And we could all throw it into GoFundMe to get Tommy Pham because he wants to come to the Padres. I know he does. You can tell. He comments on every single fucking fan from the Padres that tweets at him and says, we need you in San Diego. There's other teams that are doing that. He doesn't even give them the time of day. He comments on every Padres fans because he wants to be there, bro. I'm telling you, that addition to this lineup takes us from 83, 84 wins. He's a 2 to 3 WAR guy. That takes us up to 86, 87, and that's a pretty big gap when it comes to that third wild card spot.
That's where you need to be to make the wild card.
So, Arizona, go get him.
Arizona's gotten better in the last 2 weeks. San Francisco's gotten better in the last 2 weeks. LA's great. We need to add him. We have to add him because right now, I love Pro. I love Hazokar. We cannot be having both those guys in the left field role getting 400 to 450 at-bats a year. Just can't happen. They don't have enough power, to be completely honest. That's simple as that. Having Tommy Pham, 17 home runs, 775 OPS, hungry dog, probably the hungriest dog. We're the dogs of Dago, bro. Bring Tommy back. See what the fuck happens. Tommy was good for us, man. He was solid. Was he great? No. He had 1 month where he batted like fucking 600. Oh, I just had a knee shock. That was crazy. Sorry, my camera's going crazy. But yeah, man,
I got one.
Bring Tommy back, and then Mike, you can go.
I was thinking we could finish it up with this. Yeah. Obviously, everyone, this is a new show, so we're still working out the segments. But I think we finish it up with one thing that needs fixing for this Padres team, and then the DSG MVP of the week.
Nice, I like that. One thing that needs fixing is, like I said a little bit earlier on the show, we need to figure out who comes in the top of the 6 with 1 out and a runner on second, and who we are comfortable with coming into that game. Because I want Yuki Matsui to be our 8th inning guy. Bobby's our closer. Everything else is kind of up for grabs right now. We need a guy that comes in and gets that out. I think they think Tom Cosgrove can be that guy. I do as well. I didn't watch the game where he got his tits lit up last night, but we need to find that middle relief. We need to get some defined roles there because that plays a really, really big role in a lot of these games. Obviously today, blowout. Yesterday, pretty much a blowout. So those games weren't necessarily that important, but the game on Friday night is a perfect example. 4-2, the momentum's all Pods. Steven Kolick gets in there, gives up 2 runs. Can't happen. We get out of that inning, 4-2. We come up with our guys in the energy at that ballpark, which I'm going to touch on to end the show. We probably win that game, or at least come very close, instead of an 8-3 loss. So those are the defined roles. What about you?
I would say I think it changed today. I thought going into today, my biggest thing that needed fixing was readjusting the bottom of the order. I think Tyler Wade is a great bench piece. I do not think Tyler Wade should be starting for the Padres. I think if you're going to call Graham Pauley up, you got to play him because it would make no sense as a rookie to just have you sit on the bench.
I agree.
And then obviously you put him into pinch hit, which is by far the hardest job in baseball, even in high school, to go in off the bench and pinch hit. And he hits a 3-run homer and then gets a knock today. Tyler Wade is a good defensive replacement. He is a good runner.
Yeah.
And he can, if we need him to start, provide valuable baseball to our team. But I'm not saying, like, if you're putting them up against each other,
No, he needs to
Tyler Wade versus Graham Pauley. Graham Pauley needs to be starting, and Tyler Wade should come off the bench and play the way that Mike Schultz used him off the bench because it's worked.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing that needs fixing. And then today, coming into the game, there is one thing that I actually think that also needs fixing. I get that Kyle Higashioka was a part of the deal to bring over Michael King and Sen Soto, and I know that he's probably got great relationships with Wandy and Michael King and, you know, the pitchers, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez that came from New York. I understand that. His offense is Austin Nola-esque, if not possibly worse than Austin Nola. It was so brutal watching him hit yesterday. He didn't even look like he thought he could hit the ball. And obviously this is a one-time thing, and it's the first time we've seen him play in a major league setting, so I can't fault him. Maybe he's better than what he showed. But Brett Sullivan has proven that he can still swing it a little bit off the bench in San Diego. And if you're going to pick between the two of them, I don't mind having a lefty bat instead of two righties as a catcher. Brett Sullivan, he can also play some first base. I don't know. I mean, I think that that's something to keep an eye on. He struck out 4 times yesterday. He was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts yesterday.
He has a career .644 OPS, and OPS plus is 75. That's pretty fucking bad.
It's not great. It's not great. And that's something that he could run into one every now and then, but it's not great when you have a bottom of the order. Yesterday we had Tyler Wade and Higgy going back to back, and that just killed every single opportunity.
Can't happen.
So that was the thing I needed fixing, and today it did. And look, we scored fucking 13 runs. So there's having Campy, having a guy that can hit out of the catcher's position, even as a backup, because Campy can't play every day. But you can't have a guy go up there and strike out 4 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's something that needs fixing. What's your DSG MVP of the week?
DSG MVP of the week, Jake Cronenworth, baby. Crone has been on fire. And guess what? Hey, we love Crone. Have we been a little critical of Crone? Absolutely. Did Crone have a terrible year last year? He would tell you he had a bad year. But Jake Cronenworth, the reason why I like him, he's the definition of a hungry dog, bro. That motherfucker was never anything. He was a fucking pitcher in college. Comes in, throw-in trade with the Rays. We're like, oh, we traded for Tommy Pham, and we got this other random pasty guy. He comes in. This motherfucker, he's playing out of his mind. He's playing fantastic. All everybody talked about in the offseason was how terrible of a contract that Cronenworth contract was. Hey, haters, if he plays even 75% of how well he's played so far, it's going to be an objectively fantastic career, and he might fuck around and make his 3rd All-Star game in 4 years in San Diego. How many San Diego Padres have done that? Not many. Jake Cronenworth, stay hot, brother. You're the MVP, DSG MVP of the week. From Matt and Mike, who is your MVP of the week?
Yeah, Mike's DSG MVP of the week is going to be the guy we talked about a little bit earlier. I'm going with Luis Campusano. I mean, I think today that home run broke it open for the game, really changed the entire it changed it from one that you're like, all right, we need to add on to, oh, this is about to be a rout. All he does is hit. Every at-bat is a good at-bat. He's kind of cut down on the strikeouts, in my opinion, from what it used to be a little bit. At least even last year he was better, but like when he came up originally, he struck out a lot. He's getting consistent at-bats, and he's proving that he can hit. He's hit at every single level.
It's great.
It's not like it's a fluke. And if he can provide real value, which is, by the way, the Padres, everyone who's listening to this is probably a Padres fan, and if you're not, some background for you. We are probably the worst team with catchers in the last 30 years from an actual production standpoint, since like Benito Santiago. Like we've had no one. Like Nick Hundley was decent. Josh Bart was decent. Josh Bard was decent, but that was 2006 and 2012.
Gary had a nice little, Linsanity.
Oh yeah, well I'll give you that. Gary did have a Linsanity run.
Catcher, you're completely right. Catcher has always been one of our Achilles heels.
It's been one of our Achilles heels, and if Luis can provide real value from that position prior to Ethan Salas being ready, that stopgap, and then maybe move over to first base if Cron moves back to second. If Ha-Seong Kim decides to leave or something, I don't know. It gives us a lot more options as a team if Luis is playing well. So that's my MVP of the week.
Awesome, man. Hey, last thing before we leave, me and Mike went to Divine Deck with my girlfriend and our sister on Friday night. The energy at Petco, even when we lost, man, it's going to be a special year, guys. We've said it in the off season. I got to see it firsthand. New Gallagher Square, great food, great people. The vibes at Petco were incredible, bro. People were high-fiving and shit, bro. We lost 8-3. Didn't seem like everybody was still vibing, bro. The vibes were high. You had the mariachi band, bro. Petco's going to be special this year. Make sure to check out a Pods game. Send us some pics. We're always love to see, especially when we're back in the Bay. We love to see when the homies are at the games. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, a lot of ticket sales too. But yeah, man, first episode of Divine Deck, complete. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the Divine Sports Gospel YouTube channel. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. Anything you guys want. Sleeper, obviously. Promo code DSG if you want to ride. But we appreciate everybody. Go Pods.